Welcome back, Tribe. Today we're going to go through our new Airgarden grow cage set, what's in the box, and we're going to do a quick assembly to show you how we put it all together. Super easy. So let's get into it. When you get your grow cage set, I'm going to get some paper here, put that to the side. We've got 8 sets of our support arms. We've got 8 support segments, and we've got 2 inner rings. So let's put it all together. We take our first inner ring, we're going to turn it upside down like that so our pins are facing up. We'll grab our first set of support arms and we're going to turn it upside down like that. And we're just going to go around here and we're going to put that in on a slight angle and snap that in like that. That easy. And we just go around, do this for each one. So we've got this set up. Our next step is to grab our support segments and install those. So we're going to turn them upside down again, and we're going to come into these little fittings on the side, and we're just going to put a bit of pressure on this side and snap that in like that. Snap that in like that. It's really easy. And we repeat the process, snap that in. Snap that in like that. Snap that in. Snap that in. Lucky last here. And there we have our complete first support segment. We'll skip ahead now, we'll do our second one, and then we'll get to installing it on the Airgarden. So here we have it, we've got our 2 support cages. We've basically done the exact same process as the first, and the next step now is to install it in our Airgarden. Super easy. We're ready to install our support cages on the Airgarden. And when we're thinking about how we plant our Airgarden out, the support cages are primarily for vining plants and fruiting plants. And when we talk about planting out our Airgarden, 9 times out of 10, our fruiting and our vining plants are always on the first, second, or third row of our Airgarden system. So when we're installing our support cages, we want to be putting them on the first and the third row, just to give us a bit of space for the second and to ensure that we're getting enough light on to our planting sections here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this apart and we'll install our first support ring here, and then we'll install our second one on our third row as well. So it's a really easy process. All we need to do, if we've got our pump connected, is to open up our access port, unclick our hose from here, and then what we can do is we can take this whole section off at once. And we can just set that aside over here for the time being. And again, a trusty flathead screwdriver is the only tool we need at the moment. We're just going to go around here and we're going to pop open our base top ring that's got all our growing spots in it. Down like that. That, lift that up and off, and we'll just set that aside over here, and we'll grab our first support ring here. Now the most important thing here is when we're setting this up, we want to make sure that we've still got access to our access port. So we want our support arms here to be either side of our access port. So you can see here we've lined that up. You can see that little arrow on the side of this ring here, on our inner ring. That arrow, if that's sitting in the middle of our access port, we know that we've got it in the right spot and we can still access our access port. So now we're just going to go ahead, push down all of our little pins into here, and we want to make sure that there's no gap between this and this, that it's firmly seated like that. And we simply grab our base top again with our growing ports, and we want to do the exact same thing. We want to push this down all the way so that it's seated and we've got a very minimal, if no gap on this edge here. We know that once we push that down and we've got that into place, it's firm enough and we've got a good grip and a good hold for that top section. Our next step, we're going to grab all of our sections again and we're going to put them back on top. We'll grab this and we'll snap that back into place. And then remember we said, so we're going from, we've got our first support ring on our first level. We want to put the next one up on our third. So we're just going to go back to here, lift this up and off again, set that to the side, and then rinse and repeat. We've got our trusty little flathead screwdriver. There we go. Got that up and off. We set that to the side again. And the exact same process here, where we want to set that up like so. And the important thing to remember here is we don't have to have our arrow lined up like we did down here, because we've got access to our access port. Having this offset doesn't matter. It's not in the way of anything and we can still get to everything on our Airgarden. So again, we're just pushing these sections down, making sure there's no gap again. The exact same process. We grab our body top, press down firmly to make sure those pins are in place. No gaps on the edge. Nice and firm pushing down. And then we'll grab our other sections here. Back up and on. There we go. And then all we have to do now is reconnect our hose. Click that back on. And there we have it, we're away. It's that easy. Congratulations, we've done it. We've installed our support rings. And again, moving forward, this is going to be a really good addition if you've got a whole lot of vining plants and fruiting plants. You can kind of wrap them up and around this edge here to keep them off the ground. So it includes kind of cucumbers, tomatoes, anything that's vining that's going to end up on the ground. If we keep it up on the cage, it's going to keep it away from pests, stop powdery mildew, and get us growing a heap of produce. So thanks, tribe. We'll check in on the next video. Cheers.